Hi, welcome back. Whether you are starting or growing a nonprofit organization, partnerships and collaborations with other organizations can be a great way to grow your organization's reach and impacts. But if you are not careful, partnerships might not go as planned. So in this video, I'm going to share 4 steps as well as some tips and strategies for forming an effective and mutually beneficial partnership with another organization. If we haven't met before, hello there. I'm Amber Melanie Smith. I am a nonprofit founder and executive director of the nonprofit that I started, and I make these videos here on YouTube to help other folks who want to make an impact, whether it's through starting a nonprofit or social enterprise or leadership or activism or what have you. I want to help folks who want to essentially make an impact, change their communities, change the world with strategies and tips to do that. I hope that you find this video helpful and useful. Don't forget to give it a like and let me know, and subscribe to my channel for more content on topics like this. I also have a website, foundertofulltime.com, where you can check out some of my other online trainings and resources that might help you out depending on where you are in your making an impact or starting a nonprofit journey. All right, so let's get into this. As I said, I'm going to break this down into 4 different steps. So the first step is finding the right partner. And before you can seek the right partner, you have to know yourself a little bit. You have to know your organization and its needs. You have to understand why you're seeking a partnership in the first place and what your ideal vision for a partnership looks like. So what are some of the common reasons a nonprofit might need or want to partner with another organization? Well, the first is startup support. And that usually means that you've got a newer organization, probably one that doesn't yet have its official registration or tax exempt status complete yet, and it needs another organization to lend it its tax exempt status through perhaps a fiscal sponsorship, and perhaps help build up its credibility through a partnership with a more well-established organization. Usually this occurs with 2 organizations that are aligned in their values and the particular social or community issue that they are tackling together. And so the more well-established organization will be okay with fiscally sponsoring the new startup because they have complementary services or programs or vision. Another reason might be reach. Perhaps one organization in the partnership is just better equipped to reach a certain target population than the other organization. So they team up to essentially be able to reach each other's populations and thus expand the reach of both organizations at the same time. Another reason might be funding opportunities. Funders, especially grant makers, love to see nonprofits collaborate with each other. So teaming up to create some kind of collective impact and apply for grants together or certain funding opportunities together could be a good strategy also. And another reason might be program expansion. So similar to reach, the idea here is that these 2 or more organizations have services or programs that complement each other. They're filling in each other's gaps, so to speak. So by teaming up, they're able to help the community or a particular population within the community with more and additional or wraparound services. So just think about all of these reasons and be able to clearly articulate why your organization is in need of or seeking a specific partnership. If you can do that, if you can establish your needs and hopes in advance, then you'll be able to seek out the right partner, because not all partnerships are created equal. You'll be able to find the right partner for your specific needs at that time. The second step in this process is getting prepared to partner. So this is once you've identified one or more potential partners to meet the specific needs that you considered in step 1, before you reach out to any of these organizations, you want to really nail down what specifically you might hope to get out of partnership with that particular organization. So what I mean by this is, what do you hope that they could offer your organization, and because this is important to be mutually beneficial, what could your organization offer them that might be appealing to them? I would actually literally take the step of writing these things down. Thinking about this vision with a particular organization in advance can really help you frame that initial and those ongoing conversations with that organization as you determine if a partnership is going to be worth it for both organizations. It also allows you to be transparent with that organization early on, which is important because if you are able to determine pretty soon that this partnership is not the right fit, then you can just stop the partnership discussions and not waste each other's time at that point, and just bow out gracefully, support each other in other ways. And this is really important, but you of course want to avoid entering into any kind of contractual obligation with another organization, especially one that could require some kind of financial commitment to one another, before establishing a significant amount of trust first. So you might ask, well, how do you know if you have successfully established a trusting relationship with another organization? I would argue that if you are able to have open, vulnerable conversations with the leadership of the other organization to talk about setbacks and failures and challenges in a way that is respectful and solutions-oriented, that would be one big indicator that you have arrived at trust. One good strategy is to just look at ways to partner with other organizations that are very small in scale and temporary, so not long-term or large partnerships, to sort of build that trust through action and testing out the waters with each other too. Building trust can take a lot of time, and so it's really important to lay the foundation for these things first before entering into any monumentous partnerships that could have a big impact on both organizations' success or failure. The third step in establishing an effective partnership is, of course, the meetings and the introduction phase with a new potential partner organization. I recommend reaching out via email if that's possible for you first, because that allows the other organization to respond on their own terms and on their own timeline. It's important in this first introduction to not come across as too aggressive, because you really want to create an environment where both organizations knows that their needs and their goals are respected equally. So of course, coming across as too aggressive could suggest that you're more concerned with your needs than their ability to meet their own. In that initial email, I would keep things pretty simple and open-ended. I would start by, of course, introducing yourself as a person, introducing your relationship to the organization, whether you're a founder or a board member or a staff person, etc., and the mission of the organization, of course, and that you would like to have an opportunity to potentially sit down and discuss things with them to learn more about who they are, what their goals and their mission might be as an organization, to see if there could be potential for future collaboration. At this stage, you're just kind of inviting them to have a conversation to learn more about each other. You're not necessarily laying out all of the vision and the terms for the partnership that you've developed in your own mind or on paper internally previously. Just be open-minded and authentic and share your genuine passion for your cause, and hope that that comes across in your text. Then hopefully they will agree to a meeting, and I do recommend meeting face-to-face, or in today's world of potentially some COVID, Zoom or some kind of virtual platform is fine, but face-to-face when possible, to really establish that personal rapport. And then just do what you described in the email. Ask them lots of questions, get to know them as people and as an organization, find out what they care about, what their values are, what their goals for the next couple of years are. Once you get past that first meeting and you start entering into discussions about what a potential collaboration could look like, at that point you want to express to this partner or potential partner that your values in a partnership include honesty and transparency and being able to talk to each other about setbacks and challenges. This really helps set the tone for trust building in the future. And during these conversations, really get ready to listen and ask a lot of questions. Your goal is to find out what they would need out of a partnership in order to feel like it was a successful one, or if there are any particular challenges or obstacles that they worry could stand in the way of a healthy relationship or partnership with another organization. Perhaps they have had a bad experience with a past partner and are feeling a little bit worried about potential mishaps. So if that's the case, asking questions about what went wrong before so that you can understand and work with them as a partner to help them avoid those past mistakes that were made in previous relationships. And the fourth step of this process is, of course, the process of formalizing a partnership with the partner or partners that you've selected. It's really critical at this stage to have extremely clear expectations on both sides of what the partnership will entail. You can do this by literally making a list and writing down on a document called a memorandum of understanding or a partnership agreement document that spells out X organization will do thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3, and Y organization will do thing A, thing B, and thing C. Not only should you be writing out what each organization will do, but you're going to want to write down any particular timeline relevant to the partnership. So if the partnership is going to be carried out throughout a year, and then at the end of the year, the partners will sit down and assess if they'd like to continue, stuff like that. Once the partnership commences, you want to schedule regular meetings with your partner, just a time and a place where you can sit down and talk about the progress of meeting the goals of the partnership together, the goals of each organization, and make sure that there's space on your meeting agenda during those meetings to openly talk about any particular challenges or setbacks or issues that need to be resolved. Putting that literally on your meeting agenda will help reinforce this idea that you want to have an open and trusting relationship, and you're going to create space for that in discussions. Problems are likely to occur in any endeavor that any organization takes on, whether it's with a partner or by themselves. So, like I said, creating time and space for that on the agenda will allow those problems to get resolved and avoid resentment being built up over time if something doesn't get resolved quickly enough. All right, so I'd love to hear from you. What are some types of other organizations that you think could be a good fit in terms of partnerships for whatever work that you are doing right now? Or what concerns or questions do you have about partnerships and collaborations that are on your mind that you want to chat about? Put those in the comments below. As I mentioned before, if you are in the process of starting a nonprofit or working on creating a sustainable fundraising plan, for example, I've got some great trainings on my website, foundertofulltime.com, so be sure to check those out. I also have a newsletter that I send out approximately monthly for nonprofit leaders and change makers of all types with resources and articles and sometimes even funding opportunities that I come across. So you can find the link to subscribe to that in the description, and you can opt out anytime, of course. Finally, I do have a group on Facebook. It's called Change the World or Bust. I think at this point we have almost 3,000 people from around the world, which is just so exciting, who are all trying to make a difference in the world in their own way and are talking about their journey and what they are working on. So come check that out, come join us there, and I hope to see you there. I hope that you found this video helpful and useful, and like I said, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Once again, I'm Amber Melanie Smith, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!